Welcome everybody. Thank you very much for coming today. My name is Caryn Franklin, and it's going to be my great pleasure to facilitate a talk with Dame Zandra Rhodes. And we were chatting yesterday about the sort of ground we wanted to cover. And we both felt really strongly that what's exciting to talk about here is fashion's very much about a moment, but we have the opportunity to talk about a life. In fact, a lifetime in fashion, and lessons learned on that journey, experiences, sensations, all the things that stand out. How do you pick yourself up? How do you mentor yourself? Do you motivate yourself? Often for young creatives, there is that space where you have to believe in yourself. And that's
I tell you the one thing I always, if anyone's heard me talk about this, they've heard it before, but basically there's no such thing as a small job, only small people. And if you go for a job, even if in your head you're thinking, I don't know if I even want this job, go to every job, dress for the part so that you're going to be the one that gets it. Whether you turn it down afterwards, but, you know, like when someone comes along, the students really bother to dress up and you think, it's very impressive. You can notice, that they've really tried and that they've really listened to what was said. And I know I was very impressed when you were doing that thing in Birmingham where you'd said about tweeting and then you said, who tweeted? And look around the room, so that, you've just got to try and learn by every single experience that comes along.
I think that what you were referring to there, Zandra, which I think is interesting, and certainly when we work together a lot, but when you ask someone to do something and you ask them in a small way, not a great big way, you're going to get a massive reward if you do this, or let me incentivize you to do this. But in business, when you ask someone, can you do this? And you don't have to ask again, that's very impressive. And professionals look for that. That's what we were referring to when we put out a request to a crowd, could you just tweet this? And when we asked, it was about 300 people in the room, when we asked who did do that for us.
What would you say? Quarter?
No, very few hands went up of people who had actually done it, because maybe it didn't seem like an important ask.
But those are the ones that are going to go forward.
Absolutely.
Because they've done it.
That's what we pointed out. But I think that space of making an impression and treating every job as though it is, like you say, even if it's a small job, as though it's crucially important. Every person you meet, the industry is a small industry, isn't it? You ideally do want to get on with everybody, because you're just starting out now, but in 5 years or 10 years' time, you will come up against all the people you're meeting now, and they will be in positions of authority, potentially. You'll be kind of working together and networking together. Do you think that's a reasonable thing to say? Get on with everyone as best you can.
Yeah, I think that's true, And be careful who you step on going up, because you might have to lean on them coming down.
Very, very good
That's my mother's.
That's your...
My mother said that.
Yeah. I have to say, my dad said exactly the same thing. Be nice to people on the way up. They're the same ones you meet on the way down. It's a really important thing that we all treat each other, I guess, as human beings. Tell me about pieces of work that are most meaningful to you. Shows, if there are memorable shows that stand out, or moments in time that have a special place in your memory.
Gosh, some of the things happened totally by accident. Like, I did that outfit for Freddie Mercury. Now, I did the outfit for, you'll see it in the film, but I did the outfit for Freddie Mercury right at the beginning of his career, where it was really a little teeny bopper band that was performing at Earl's Court, but happens to have been captured in the most wonderful photograph. He later went on to be wearing the old black T-shirt, that vest that he wore, but no one remembers that. So I get treated as if I really knew him well. So different things that happen that you see that are memorable landmarks that went through your career? You know, that's one of them. Princess Anne's engagement dress was another one. You know, so that different things happen, but it doesn't mean you always know those people terribly well, but it gives the impression that you do.
And that is, of course, part of it, isn't it? You know, and certainly contemporary young creatives, more and more. We were talking about this yesterday in Show Studio in reviewing a designer's show. The pressure that young creatives are under to give as much of themselves as possible and talk about their circle, their creative friends, and you know, mixing with other young creatives, so that in itself becomes a press story, and so celebrity dressing, you know, immediately bringing someone up that you're dressing.
Would you say that right now London was like a really good place to start fashion, like being young as well?
Well, it's as good a place as any, and if you're here, then, you know, and then just hope that it goes further from there. A lot of the ideas start in this country. We've still got the best art colleges in the world. The only reason San Francisco is doing well is because they snitched all the people from St. Martin's. You know, so that, and you just have to try and go where you can get work on whatever basis.
I mean, I think maybe to end on that, you know, I would agree with you that London has something very special and very magical, and many a journalist tries to disseminate it into something that is meaningful in, you know, in a sentence or two. But it is that huge melting pot of people and individuals and cultures and sensibilities and artistic references, and the amazing art schools that we have up and down the country, and also amazing individuals that act as inspiration, which brings me neatly to an ending. A big round of applause, because Zandra Rhodes is one of them.